Hey.
Special effects.
Yeah, well, I wanted the fog.
She's coming out of the smoke.
And then I could have done my blue steel. You know you like that. Blue steel. Anyway, good evening, everybody. You're here on Talking with Demons with myself, the heavy metal pirate, and of course, the gorgeous Grecian goddess, Ina. And how are we, Ina?
I'm doing great. It's midnight here in Greece, so let's do this. Let's annoy my neighbors.
Yes. However,
Let's
before
do
we
it.
start, I mean, we've got a great show going on tonight anyway with a great band. What is the day?
I'm glad you asked. Today is Back to the Future Day.
Okay. Is that celebrating the films Back to the Future or just Back to the Future?
Of the films.
Oh, that's all right then, because I'd get confused otherwise. It doesn't take a lot, let's face
Okay.
it. It doesn't take a lot for me to get
It's,
confused.
it's, but
However,
anyway, do you have any news for us?
of course, I've got news for you. This week has been an absolute blinder for new releases, so I'm going to give it to you. So, the great Brighton's own British metalcore, progressive metalcore outfit, Architects, have just released their new album, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit. Having a little listen. Yeah, it's tasty. It's great. A few others as well. Avantasia, the progressive symphonic power metal band that have been absolutely nailing it. They've just released their new one, and they've got a great title, and it's kind of good for the run up to Halloween. And it's they've just released. It is the Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society, and that is their album. Go and check it out. Black Math Horsemen have just released their new album. If you like a little bit of psychedelic post metal, you like a little bit of Black Math Horse, a little bit of Brutus. They've just released their new album. A little bit of Unison Life, another great album. Having a listen to that this week. Exhumed. Oh, you gotta love a little bit of Exhumed, some death metal and grindcore. Yeah, they've just released their new album, To the Dead. It's beautiful. It warms my soul. It's just, and the artwork is just absolutely brilliant. It's just a skull on a plate with loads of stuff hanging off it. Perfect for Halloween. And then we've got One Leg Man. I laughed when I heard that title. However, One Leg Man with their track or their album, Event Horizon. And there's quite a few more, but we haven't got time for that. We need to get the band on. So, shall we get them on?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Wait, no. Now I'm ready.
Now you're ready. Okay.
Now,
So,
let's do it.
ladies and gentlemen out there watching us right now, we've got the amazing Canadian metalcore. In fact, before we get there, I don't think we've actually had a metalcore outfit on before, have we? We've had progressive metal, we've had symphonic metal, we've had black and death metal, we've had normal rock, we've had heavy metal. I don't think we've actually had a metalcore band on.
Are you sure, though?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure, though.
I think we have. But anyway.
Yes, anyway.
But anyway.
Anyway, so we've got the amazing Canadian The Curse Within with Eric.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, and thanks for coming on, Eric. I know it's been a long time. We've had a few things going on, and we've had to push back a little bit, but we're here right now.
Damn straight.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on, and it's an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
But, Eric, what I want you to do, my good chum, is I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers, who you are, and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So my name's Eric. I sing and play guitar, and I guess we can call it metalcore. It's kind of like a combination of, I don't know, a bunch of genres, but 2000s metal-esque band, The Curse Within. And I have two other bandmates, Andres, who is our producer and also plays guitar, and then Matt, our bass player. Currently, we are drummerless, but we're working on that. And yeah, this is basically my basement studio where the magic happens. We write the music here, we do the recording here, and I'm just hanging out, having a good time.
Winner. And in fact, you mentioned earlier behind the backstage that your grandma lives upstairs as well.
That's right. Yeah.
How does she feel about your devil music?
I don't know if she knows it's me. Like I play it upstairs sometimes. She knows like we do music and like I'm in a band and stuff, but like I don't know. I don't really know. I don't pick her brain on it, so but she doesn't complain, so that's the important thing.
Have you not go, hey, Gran, do you want to listen to my new album?
Yeah.
Go on, have a taste. See what the reaction is.
Yeah, I mean, she probably just perceives it as noise, would be my guess. It's probably not even like registering, but you know.
Who is this man screaming?
Yeah. What's all the damn noise coming from?
Well, anyway, thanks for coming on. I know it's what, 5 o'clock your time, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And I know the rest of the team couldn't come on because of work commitments, etc. But thank you for coming on anyway. But what we want to do is we want to talk to you about the band, how you started, and anything else that we can think of as we go through. So, tell the viewers, how the band started, the year, etc., etc.
Yeah, I guess loosely the band started when I was in high school, which would have been like 2013. And it was just me and the bass player Matt. So he's an original member from way back then. And then two of my other friends who I'm still friends with but aren't currently in the band anymore. And we kind of just started off writing music, like playing in the basement for fun, whatever. And that kind of maintained for quite a while until about 2015, 16, when we decided we wanted to get recordings done and start taking it a little bit more seriously. And that's when we recruited Andres, who actually also went to our high school, but just for whatever reason, I guess we didn't really talk that much in high school. We became friends after the fact, but we had similar tastes in music, so that kind of ended up working out. We wrote an EP called Seeking Vengeance and we released it in 2016. And then I had a bunch of vocal trouble where I developed like vocal cord nodules, I think, or something, or polyps or something like that. I guess just from not knowing how to sing properly, I kind of got thrown into it. Like no one could sing and I could just sing the most. So they were kind of just like, fuck you, you're doing it. I've grown into the role since, but yeah. And then basically from there, we kind of laid low for a bit because we didn't know what to do. Played a bunch of shows, didn't really get anywhere doing it. And then I kind of had like a moment where I was like, if I want this to happen for me and for the band, like I got to figure out what we have to do to make it happen. And then we kind of just changed our approach from like, doing the local show, kind of like repeatedly grinding that. We stopped doing that and we started working on like getting good recordings, releasing music, doing digital marketing, social media, kind of that whole front, which I think we were a little bit ahead of the punch on that because now like that's kind of what everyone is doing to get their name out there because it works. But yeah, we re-recorded our 2016 EP in 2020 and added 2 new songs because I kind of grew into my role as a singer more, and I thought the original recording was pretty bad. So we redid that, and then since then we've just been kind of releasing a song every few months, or that's the goal usually. Sometimes we get held back, but yeah, so it's been a song every few months, basically up until now. And so we have 2 EPs out. One is called Seeking Vengeance, which is in 2020. One is called Heartless, which I think finished coming out in 2022 at the beginning. Like I said, we kind of released them as singles, and then when they're all there, I just put them into an EP. So we have those 2 out, and then a third one on the way with 2 songs that are currently released. One of them, Eternity, which we dropped in April, and one of them, Unbroken, which you guys said we're going to listen to later. So that one we dropped in August, I think. And we have a new one coming out called In Faith of Falling, which I just recorded the vocals for on Wednesday. So hopefully that'll be out before the end of November. That's the goal anyways.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it anyway. Now, the only reason I come across you guys, because I was scrolling through Instagram whilst, you sit on the toilet and you get a little bit bored, so you have a look through. And then I caught one of your videos where you were playing some mad riffage on your guitar. I was like, oh, these are tasty. And then obviously I then went, these are damn good. Now I'm a big metalcore fan anyway, and black and death metal and any other aggressive genre that really does hurt the ears. And then I started listening to your music. I was like, yes. And the track that caught my ear was Unbroken, and it is a damn good track. It's definitely a tasty little track.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. But you also do quite a bit. You do a lot of videos on Instagram, either mocking yourselves or actually playing tracks that you like or tracks that you've created as well. Is that just for fun or?
No, kind of like I said before about like just grinding the social media and doing digital advertising. Like that's just kind of the way to get your music out, much like how you randomly stumbled across it, like a bunch of other people have too, and have taken a liking to it. And I don't think, I mean, not that, not that we've like made it per se, because I definitely don't feel like we have, but we're making our way there. And I mean, without doing that stuff, I don't think anyone would know who we are or give a shit. So that's mostly why I do it. Not really because I enjoy like making videos all day. I actually don't like doing that. I wish I could just like make music and people would just listen to it, but that's not the way it works. So
Actually, I have two questions for you. First question, where is your bandmate Andreas from?
he's from Ecuador. Well, like he lives here, but like he's Ecuadorian. Yeah.
Yeah, because the name sounds Greek. That's why I asked it.
Oh, okay.
Where is he from? And second question, why the curse within? Why the name?
When we played our first show in 2013, we went under the name Lost Vegas, and no one liked it, including me. And then I shortly after that just came up with the name The Curse Within. And I think originally the intent wasn't for the name to stay like that, but we just put it on the back burner. Until eventually it was just like we had released too many songs and people knew who we were. So now like even if I wanted to change it, I can't. So I mean I like the name. I don't dislike the name, but like I don't think the original intent was to like roll with it, but we just ended up rolling with it. So yeah.
And to be fair, we are all cursed within. Let's face it.
It's true. It's very true.
It is true. I was gonna ask like 13 more questions, but I was like,
But
I don't want to monopolize
now,
the conversation. No. I'm gonna start asking. Get ready, brace yourselves. First of all, when did you realize you wanted to do? I'm gonna use the word do music in your life growing up.
Yeah. I had an interest in like rock music from a really young age. Both my parents are like 80s metal hair rock fans. So I grew up listening to like the Scorpions, Iron Maiden, Van Halen, Bon Jovi, stuff like that. And the first music that I personally took a liking to that was kind of like my own thing was like kind of like the late 90s, early 2000s pop punk. So like bands like Green Day, Blink-182, who is still like one of my top favorite bands. But yeah, bands like that. And then I guess kind of around that time, I was just like, I want to learn how to play this stuff on guitar. And so my parents like really supported me in that and they wanted me to pick up music too. So it was just like it came really naturally to me, I guess. But yeah, from a super early age. And then I was kind of like maybe 8, 9, 10, like just writing punk songs, like stupid little songs for fun with my friends, and doing that sort of thing. And then when I really got into metal, was a game called Guitar Hero, which I'm sure you guys know. Everyone knows Guitar Hero. They had a bunch of metalcore tracks on it. And the one I remember that really struck me, there's a song called 6 by All That Remains. That's on Guitar Hero 2. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is definitely like what I want to do. It just kind of blew my mind. And I still love All That Remains. They're one of my favorite bands. And yeah, that kind of really put me onto the path that I'm on now, pretty much.
Nice. Now you mentioned Blink-182. Obviously, everybody's aware now that they are coming back and they're about to tour. Are you going to go and see them? Are you going to go and see Mr. Travis Kardashian? Yeah, that's right, Travis Kardashian.
Yeah, I mean, the ticket prices are pretty ridiculous. There's been a lot of debate on the internet about whose fault that is or why that is. I have my own opinions, but I didn't buy a ticket yet because the floor seats were like over $600 in Toronto, Jesus, where I'm from. That's because the scalpers are assholes, but I'm hoping to pick up a ticket a little bit cheaper than that, but like definitely going to go. However, I'm not going to go if I can't get a floor seat because I don't like sitting down at a concert. For me, if I'm going to go sit in a chair, YouTube is free. So Yeah, I'm not going to a concert to sit in a chair. So got to get the floor, general admission for sure. So I'm working on that. All my homies want to go too, so we're definitely gonna go.
But I mean, it's $600 really worth it for Blink 182. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I listened to them, when they first broke out, and All the Small Things was their biggest one that broke into the mainstream, and that was a great song. And then, I kind of with me, I kind of got bored of the moment. Yeah, this is just the same old tat now. And, the videos are fun. I love the videos that they do.
You know what? For me, it's more so like, I mean, they're getting up there in age now, and like, I mean, I see them every time. Actually, I could have had the opportunity to see them before they separated and everything, but when I got into metal, I was kind of like, oh, I listen to metal now. I don't listen to this crap. So like, there was kind of a period there where I like lost my roots, so to speak. But once I kind of reconnected and kind of just like everything now, I've seen them every single time they've come, but it's never been with the original guitarist Tom. And now they're all like pushing 50. So I figure like, if I'm going to go see them once, like I should probably go see them now instead of going to see them when they're like 65 doing like their third reunion tour. Cause that would be even more sad that it's probably going to be. So it's kind of like a one-time thing, but I agree. Definitely probably not worth $600.
Yeah. And I mean, well, there's quite a lot of bands right now as well that are coming back for their reunions. And some of them are doing really well. Obviously, Guns N' Roses recently started touring back again. You got Motley Crue, Vince Neil's in a little bit better health. Scorpions are touring again. Maiden, obviously, they haven't lost their step. They've just continued smashing it out right now. I mean, for me, it's great in the way that I can go and see them for one last time, and I can take my boys with me and go, hey, these are the bands that your old man listened to. This is the reason metal's here. But I mean, at some point you just got to go, just give up.
Yeah, I mean, one band that I really like a lot is the Scorpions. And my dad's a big fan of them too. So we actually missed them on this reunion tour, but I've seen them like a handful of times. Like we usually go see them when they come here. And I've seen Maiden a bunch of times throughout the years. And like, I don't think they've gotten any worse live. Like Bruce Dickinson is like not from this earth. Like even through like, I think he had like tongue cancer or something like that. Like
throat cancer.
Yeah. And he still is just like killing it. He like puts people that are like my age to shame. So yeah, but
I mean, for me, Bruce Dickinson is the equivalent. If you're talking frontman personas, Bruce Dickinson is the equivalent of Freddie Mercury with regards to being
for sure
frontman. That man. I mean, I managed to see them live back in 2006 when they were doing the Somewhere Back in Time tour, and that was an absolute. He held that audience, and every time I watch the gigs of Iron Maiden, he always holds that audience. You're like, wow, that man is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's phenomenal for sure. No one quite can do it like him, I don't think. Especially like I want to say they're all like in their mid 60s now, probably early 60s, and like he's still just like fucking killing it. So that's phenomenal.
In fact, have you listened to the latest album, Senjutsu?
I heard the singles, and I honestly didn't really like the Western like rock vibe of it, so I don't think I checked out the whole album. But Maiden is one of those bands for me that every single album they release, even the later ones, like there's usually a handful of songs that I really enjoy. So they're pretty reliable, I would say. But yeah.
I mean, they've got a pattern, I guess you could say. They've got a recipe that when you listen to a song, it is definitively Maiden.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, and they are one of the long-lasting. Anyway, we need to come back to you because it's about you, not Iron Maiden or anything else. Yeah. But it's nice to hear the influences. But go on, Ina. I know you've got something.
Do you know what time it is?
Oh, is it that time?
It is.
It is that time. Well, I'll let you do it then.
It is. Fine, I'll do it. We're going to introduce your music to our viewers. So, with no further ado, guys, you're watching Talking with Demons. We're here with The Curse Within, and this is their music video, Unbroken. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Crystal from the band Anoxia here, and you're watching Inner Demon Media. Inner Demons. Because we all have them, we all just don't hide from them.
What's up, everybody? This is Corey from the band Carving Stone, and you are watching Inner Demon Media. Rock on.
Yeah. That is an absolutely banging track. Absolutely love it. Now, for me, the reason it stuck with me in the first place when I started listening to it was because originally oh, sorry.
I think he has no audio.
Oh. Can you hear us, Eric?
He's gone.
You and I.
That's it.
Hold on. Clearly, he was broken. Well, hopefully he'll be able to get back.
That was some sick guitar riffs, though.
Yeah, it was. Can you hear us now, Eric?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know what happened.
Happy days. We were just
That was
saying,
some sick guitar riffs.
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you.
it was. There were some tasty licks in that track.
Yeah, like I guess one of the main influences for that song was In Flames. They're a big influence on us. I love their riffs, so it's kind of borrowing some of their flair for that one.
But I mean, isn't music borrowing from somebody else anyway?
Totally, yeah. Borrowing.
Yeah, not plagiarizing, just loaning music. I mean, what hit me when I first heard that track whilst I was sat on the toilet? Obviously, no disrespect, because that's what you do, isn't it? You sit there and you go, well, I can't read the shampoo bottle anymore because I've read everything on the back. I'll use my phone instead.
Yes, offense.
But when I first, so the intro for me reminded me of As Oceans Between Us by As I Lay Dying. And I was like, oh. And then I started listening to the rest of it, and that's when I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? The Curse Within, yeah, they've got some tasty licks. And that track, I mean, the middle section, you're like, oh, and the clean and the gutturals. And then who's the second guitarist?
Andres. Yeah, he's doing the growling, yeah.
Yeah. Well, at first, I thought he was Herman Lee. He's got that long hair and that goatee. I was like, and then he just started growling into the camera. I'm like, oh, this is a bit aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, that's kind of like when we were making this song, we called that part of the song like the Amon Amarth part, because it totally sounds like them, and we're big fans of them too. So,
yeah, there's definitely a lot of influences that you can hear within your music, and it just combines so much into a mad cacophony of chaos that you're like, it's a wall of sound, and it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, for a band with no drummer, the drumming was powerful. I gotta say.
Yeah, so we write the drum parts, and then there's like a session musician. His name's Frank Smith that I met on Facebook, and he's from somewhere in America. I'm not sure exactly where, but we basically just pay him. He has like a basement studio similar to this, so I just like send him the parts, and then he kind of puts his little flair on it and just sends it back, and that's how I've been doing it for the last 2 years. So.
Yeah, hats off to your session drummer friends.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I would put him in the band. He just is, I don't know. I don't know if he would want to, and B, he's far away. So, or I put him in the videos, rather, I should say, because everyone always says in all of our videos, like, where's your drummer? Even on social media, where's your drummer? And I always have to explain that.
We don't have one. He doesn't exist. It's magic. The devil plays it for us.
Well, I can actually see. I'm sorry. I can actually see a red guitar behind you. And I always wonder, in most of your videos, you use your white one. Why is that? Why is your favorite guitar?
Because I picked it up off of a wall. It's which way am I going? It's right there. And I don't know. I picked it up off the wall, and it just already played amazingly, which is pretty rare for guitars, at least in my experience. And so yeah, as soon as I played that one, I picked it up, and I've actually stopped using basically every other guitar, which makes me feel bad because the other ones don't get love, but they just don't they don't play the same way. So I got to stick with my boy, the white one.
Well, what you need to do to spread the love is to get them all in bed with yourself.
Yeah.
And just say, I do love you. Just because I don't use you, I do love you.
Yeah.
Well, if you have no use for them, you can always destroy them on stage.
Yeah.
You could. You can do it. Smash one.
the black one back here.
He's thinking about it.
It's an Alexi Lejo signature, and I actually have it signed by him. When they did the Halo of Blood tour in like 2015. So
Wow.
Totally wouldn't smash that one. Obviously, rest in peace.
Definitely not.
But maybe that red one. That's like a cheap $100 one I bought at a local music store. So, and it plays like crap. I don't really know why I got it. I thought I was gonna fix it, but then it just ended up being a wall ornament. So
I mean, it does look good.
Oh,
I mean,
totally,
if that's anything, it's
Yeah,
the
it does.
lipstick to your wall.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely spruces
Yeah.
up like the vibe of the room for sure.
But if you do end up smashing it, just be sure to record it. I want to see.
Yeah. I gotta save it for a useful time for sure.
So let's talk about Unbroken. What was the influence behind it? Is there any meaning? I mean, we all know that musicians write music, and we all take our own meaning from it. But was there any specific meaning for yourself whilst you were writing it?
So the way we write the songs is usually the entire instrumental gets done, and then I'll write lyrics after. A lot of metal. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of metal, because I guess like people write about all types of things, but I would say like, especially in metalcore, a lot of the lyrics are negative, and or like, I don't want to say negative, but I guess yeah, negative, or like dark. And a vocalist that I really like, Jesse Leach from Killswitch Engage. He has a lot of like uplifting lyrics. That's something that I really like about Killswitch Engage, because I guess metal is always supposed to be like dark and brooding, and I kind of don't want to do that. A, because everyone does it, and B, just because I don't think it's not really the message I just want to give people while they're listening to my music. I want them to feel empowered and want them to feel uplifted, not feel down. And so I guess the song is pretty much just about being able to overcome adversity in your life, regardless of what that is, and coming out the other side stronger for it. So that's kind of the lyrical idea. And then, like I said, musically, it's kind of some fine line between like melodic death metal and metalcore, probably. So like you mentioned, As They Dying is another band I love. All That Remains, In Flames, like I said, I'm on a Marth. Yeah, so we usually write the riffs first, so it's kind of like we're like a riff oriented band. Like, to me, the riff is everything for a metal track. So we start there, and then we build everything up from the riff.
Yeah, and I would agree. Any good metal track or rock track has to have that riff that draws a listener in and grabs you by the balls. And Unbroken was just one of them, especially the middle section like that. Wow, there's some decent licks. Now, you mentioned Killswitch Engage, another one of my favorite bands as well. Did you like Atonement?
I don't think it was their best album, but I did like it. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about Howard and Jesse coming back for the Signal Fire?
Oh, amazing. Especially the live videos where they pull them on stage every once in a while. Brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah. Now, for me, when I started listening to Killswitch, it was when Howard Jones was in there. In fact, it was when they released Holy Diver, Ronnie James Dio's, the cover for Ronnie James Dio's. When I heard Howard Jones, I was like, damn, this man has got some pipes. And then you listen to the rest of the album. I think, what was it?
As Daylight Dies.
As Daylight Dies, because you had My Curse, Rose of Sharon, which is another absolute banger. And then from there, and then because he's in Light the Torch as well.
Yeah.
And another great band. But when Jesse and Howard come back, and you hear Jesse do his bit, and then Howard just comes in, you're like, oh, heaven.
I know. It almost makes you wish that they would just both be the full-time vocalists and they could just trade off, because it worked so well. Yeah,
definitely. Anyway, coming back to you.
What?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I hear bands. I'm like, oh.
I'm a fanboy. I could talk about bands I like for the rest of the hour if that's what you guys want to do. It's cool with me.
Let's do it then. Let's do it. What is the best gig you've ever attended?
Ever attended? Ooh. It would probably be a toss-up between Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. Did a co-headlining tour. And so that was really big for me because those are two of my favorite bands as well. And also Amon Amarth, when they came in 2019, like before the pandemic started, that was like a fucking insane show. And they sold out a club here that sits like 3,000 people or something like that, which is like crazy for like a death metal band. And the vibe was just, it was so good. And Amon Amarth's stage show is always, they put so much effort into it. And they had like a big Viking boat in the back, and they had like I don't know what the name of the snake is. There's like a snake from Viking mythology, but they had like that dude in the background, and then they get like Vikings to come up on stage and like fight in the background while they're playing. It was really cool. So probably one of those two.
It's like I've found my long lost twin brother.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the hair because you got the better looks, not me. But you mentioned Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. I mean, Bullet for My Valentine are one of the best bands to come out of the UK in years, and I absolutely love Bullet. And Trivium, Matt Heffy, damn, that man is an absolute legend. And I mean, the last album I actually thought was quite good, but Shogun era was probably one of their best.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Shogun's the best for sure. Shogun, Shogun Master Race for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I like what he's doing now with his. Was it Hibachi?
Sorry,
is it Hibachi? His new
I think it's called Ibaraki.
That's it, Ibaraki. I actually like what he's doing there because I watched a few of his videos, and he sat there with those the weird Japanese instruments that he got. And I'm like, this is some freaky stuff, and then he puts it in. You're like, yeah, he's really good. I just love his ethos.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and Matt Heapy's definitely like. I mean, I say this like I know these people. I don't know them, but like from what I've heard,
we feel them.
Yeah, from what I've heard, he's like one of the hardest working, like most solid dudes in the scene. So I'm really happy that Trivium has blown up like they have over the past 5 or so years. I feel like they really never got the attention they deserved, even though they were always a big band, but like they definitely took it to the next level.
I mean, looking into a little bit of history of Trivium, I mean, I think one of the issues they had, because they were originally supporting Metallica on one of their tours, and they were quite big before that, and they were doing a big festival with Metallica. And I believe the reason they went downhill after that and people started hating them was because they believed the rumors that were backstage at the Metallica. Basically, I believe it was something along the lines of they thought they were bigger than they are, so they wanted them to do whatever they do in the background, you know, make sure I've got water, M&Ms in black, blue, and green, and all the rest of it. In actual fact, it wasn't them demanding it; it was their manager and their production staff. But they got the backlash of it, and then because of that, everybody's going, "Oh no, Trivium are too big for their boots." Blah 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 blah. Am I going to believe you? I mean, the because you know when you listen to that music, I mean, because I think it was just after they released Shogun, and you know they skyrocketed, they really did, and then all of a sudden, everybody went, "Nah, Trivium, you're shit." No, they're not. You're on crack.
Yeah, I agree. I guess that just goes to show you how careful you have to be kind of about like maintaining your image, which is kind of unfortunate, I guess, especially I would say it's even worse now, like in the internet age, but because rumors can spread like very quickly, or something you say can be taken out of context, or, you know, there's so many little things like that. But yeah, I'm happy that they've kind of rewritten that part of their history, and they're like well respected again, because they definitely deserve it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're one of, you know, I mean, it's the same as Bullet for My Valentine. They're like one of the biggest bands right now. And I think they're just getting better and better with age. Excuse me, I'm just about to burp because I've just drunk too much tea. Oh. And in fact, show everybody your whiskey bottle. This man is an alcoholic. Look at this. Full of water.
When we were backstage, I was telling them I'm not getting loaded during this. It's just water. But I try not to drink too many water bottles, just because I end up with a massive fucking mountain of water bottles if I drink from them. So now I have like a little mason jar with a spout, and I just fill it up and then drink from this and my whiskey bottle. Plus, it's a good alibi, right? So
yeah I mean, you can make it look like you're absolutely getting wasted. In actual fact, you're completely sober,
or the reverse.
Or the reverse. It's actually vodka in a whiskey bottle.
I don't think I'd be
Yep.
drinking in that large of gulps if that were the case. But
no, I don't think even I could do that.
I have another question for you. What is the gig that you build up in your head, and when you went, you were disappointed?
I would have to think about that. I can't say I've really been disappointed per se with any show. The one that I thought was honestly, because we were talking about Blink-182 earlier, like I know already that they're like a punk rock band. They're not like great live. But I guess that would probably be one of the shows where they didn't deliver as much as I would have expected them to. But I was also hammered, so I enjoyed it anyway. I enjoyed it anyways. You got to go. I mean, that's my ethos, but you got to go drunk to concerts. That's my thing.
Yeah, agreed.
So, but I guess Blink-182. That being said, like I said, I'm still gonna go see them because I love them. But yeah.
Now, what was one of the favorite gigs? Oh, sorry. What are you going to say, Ina?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, what was one of your favorite live gigs that you played?
I want to say 2017. I might be getting the year wrong, but I think it was 2017. We opened for Chelsea Grin and Ice Nine Kills. And that was super cool because usually when we play, it's just like our friends and family there, which is in a circular way. When I was talking earlier about like doing the local show grind over and over, that's kind of why I stopped doing it, was because I saw we weren't getting anywhere and I was tired of like, just playing for my friends. So I was like, we're not playing again until I can fill the room with people that actually want to see my music. But that show was really cool because there's probably like 300 people there. And we played a couple covers. We played Tears Don't Fall as a cover, so the whole crowd liked that. And we played Damn It, actually by Blink. The whole crowd liked that. And we just kind of mixed those in with our own songs. But yeah, that was an awesome show. And actually, I can't remember. I didn't see it happen. I guess like I just didn't see it. But apparently, like one of the members of Chelsea Grin was like in the mosh pit during our performance. So that was like super cool of them to do that and be supportive of the smaller bands on the bill.
And I mean, to be able to, be on stage or share the stage with Chelsea Grin and Ice Nine Kills. I mean, two other big bands right now as well. I mean, that's got to be pretty tasty. And the fact he's got in the mosh pit as well. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely, it was a moment for me where I realized that like this could at least be a plausible career path for me, for sure. So around that time was kind of when we started turning on the jets and like getting focused on making the music and making it happen. So
nice.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Should we listen to another song?
Yeah, I think so.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We're here on Talking with Demons, here with The Curse Within, and this is our track, Heartless. We'll be right back.
This is Rod from Just a Ride, and you're watching Inner Demon Media.
Another great track. In fact, I'd probably say more of a ballad.
Yeah, I guess for our band, for sure, that's probably our softest song.
Definitely. I mean, it's a really nice track as well. So what's the story behind Heartless?
Well, on the topic of Bullet for My Valentine, obviously that's very on the sleeve. But yeah, I don't know. It's similar thing. It started with the riff, which is the opening riff of the song, which is also like dialed back for the clean part in the intro. But it started with that riff, and then it kind of just became its own beast. Lyrically, I guess it's kind of just about leaving behind people in the past. It wasn't made specifically about like someone in my life, but I just felt like the song was kind of asking for something that was a little more like deeper and emotional and human. So I stuck with that as a theme pretty much.
Yeah, and that was some great artwork, by the way.
Thank you. I kind of conceptualized the ideas, and then our first two EPs were made by the same guy, the artwork, and then he kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth, and like I don't know where he is. I hope he's doing all right. He ghosted me, but and then the newest EP, which is not out yet, the one with Unbroken on it, I have a new guy who did that, who is just someone from Indonesia that I met off Facebook. I wish I could remember the name of his like company, because it would be a nice plug for him. But and he also did our upcoming merch, because we're dropping some merch soon. But yeah, he's awesome. He does great work. So
yeah, it is.
Well,
great.
I love how both. I'm sorry.
No.
I just loved how both songs we heard were so different. If I hadn't known, I could easily assume that there are two different bands, because they sound so different, but equally great.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess that one is probably our most different. We kind of just have an ethos of being balls to the walls all the time. So most of our songs are probably closer to Unbroken than to that one. But yeah, we're trying to. One thing I am trying to do with the next EP is have more variety. So the song that's coming out in November is more inspired by, I guess, like alternative metal, like Evanescence, Breaking Benjamin, like that kind of vibe. And yeah, I'm just trying to do some new stuff, because kind of all of our stuff is like 200 beats per minute, like just riff salad basically, which I mean I love, but I want a little bit of variety on the next one, so that's what we're trying to do.
Nice. It's good to reinvent yourself. Why not?
Yeah,
you grow as
sure.
an artist.
Totally. Yeah. And I think like when you only have like a handful of songs out, I was super adamant on like not straying from what I kind of want the central sound of the band to be. But now that we have like 12, 13 songs out, like I have a liberty of being like, oh, well, here's something new. Like nothing bothers me more, especially with singles, when like a band like drops something that's just completely left field, and then you're stuck like wanting something else for the next 8 months before the album comes out. So I strategically sandwiched the new song between like two classic TCW single sounds. But yeah.
How did COVID affect you as a band?
I mean, we kind of switched to not playing live prior to COVID happening. I think our last show was February of 2018. So it honestly didn't really do anything to us, because we were already just doing stuff online anyways. But obviously, like if that's your income and you needed to tour, like obviously you got smashed. Or like if you were doing the local circuit, you got smashed because you couldn't play. So for us, it was honestly not a big deal. But yeah.
Yeah, COVID was a dick.
Totally.
Yeah. Do you have any gigs coming up?
That's one thing I want to start next year, now that we kind of have like somewhat of a fan base, is I want to start trying to play live and see if I can get like legitimate fans out to shows. So if you're watching, please fucking come see me. But yeah, that's something that's a plan for next year for sure. I want to start doing stuff maybe I'm hoping to have the rest of this EP out by maybe March or April of next year, assuming everything goes to plan, which it never does for the record, but assuming it does go to plan. So hopefully by like late spring, early summer, we start like playing a show every like 2 months or so. Yeah. So I guess nothing planned yet, but it's on the horizon for sure.
Oh, awkward silence.
Do you have any like no? Do you have any big hopes for your band? Like, is there a particular band you would like to open the show for?
I mean, God, you could name any of the ones that we've been talking about for the entire like podcast. Those are all my heroes. Like, I'd love to play with Bullet, Trivium, As I Lay Dying, All That Remains, Avenged Sevenfold, who we haven't mentioned, but especially growing up, Avenged Sevenfold was massive for me. I still love them, but yeah, Avenged Sevenfold would be cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, any of those bands.
In fact,
Killswitch Engage.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Avenged Sevenfold when they were supporting Iron Maiden back in 2006, when they were just making it into the mainstream. Okay. But interestingly, you mentioned Avenged Sevenfold then. I don't know. So I liked the album Hail to the King. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant album. But there's been a lot of argument in the minute saying, oh, well, it was their shittest album, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why? It was a step change for their music, and I believe it was good. I mean, Shepherd of Fire, Hail to the King, absolutely brilliant tunes that, you know, you can put in your car and put your foot down on the floor and get caught by the police if you're unlucky.
Yeah. I think Hail to the King was one of their weaker albums personally. I would say it's better than The Stage, which is like their most recent album. I thought The Stage was good, but for me, the production of The Stage kind of killed it for me. I think the production, I know they were going for a more underproduced, stripped back sound, but I didn't really vibe with it as much. My favorite Avenged Sevenfold album is like City of Evil, like by far. Because for me, that's kind of just their most like crazy balls to the walls album. But I mean, I like all their stuff, and definitely Hail to the King. Like, I think it had some low moments, but it definitely also had some really high moments. Like Shepherd of Fire is like one of their best songs for sure. Hail to the King is great. Coming Home, which is kind of like a track that's buried in there, but very Iron Maiden-esque. That's one of my favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs too. So there's definitely some bangers on there for sure.
Yeah, true fact. But yeah, I mean, if any of you from those bands that we've mentioned tonight are listening and watching, you need to hit up The Curse Within and get them on your bill. True facts, or I will steal your soul.
Yeah. What is your personal favorite song of yours that you look forward to performing live?
So the only songs we've actually played live were the songs from our 2016 EP that got re-recorded in 2020. So we've only ever played like 4 songs live plus 2 or 3 covers, because usually when you go play live like at a local show, like you only get like, you know, half an hour, maybe 40 minutes if you're lucky. So I really haven't had a chance to play any of them other than the original 4, which would be from the 2020 EP would be My Revenge, Hellfire, Pull the Trigger, and Seeking Vengeance. My favorite song probably, I mean, it changes all the time, but probably overall would be Condemned, which is the song that I think you guys are going to play last. Just because to me, that is like the Curse Within song we have. Like, it's super fast, it's riff salad, it's melodic, it's got a lot of screaming. So that's probably would be my favorite overall. And I'm definitely looking forward to playing, honestly, all of them live just to see, you know, what the crowd reaction is, because I don't have an idea for anything, but that's probably my favorite song overall.
Well, since you mentioned it, we should talk about Condemned, because it will be the last thing we hear and we won't be coming back. So we should talk about it now. So let's talk about the song. What's it about?
So it's basically a fictional story about so on all of our album covers we have, like, I don't want to call it a mascot because it's not like Eddie from Iron Maiden. It's not like that strong of like gonna be on everything we do, but on all of our artwork so far, there's kind of this like character that's like half good, half evil angel type of thing. So I guess it's kind of about that fictional character, but it's basically just like a story about like self-sacrifice to save humanity It's kind of a little bit like fantastical, I guess. Instrument wise and the story behind it, it was actually a song that I wrote in high school. So like maybe 2013, 2014 era. And it sucked. Well, it didn't suck, but it didn't hit like it does now. So we kind of took it apart and kept the few riffs that I really liked. One of them is the intro riff to the song, and then kind of just made everything else new and rebuilt it around that intro riff. And it's, for me, like I said, it's definitely like up there for one of our best songs. So usually, like if someone says like show me a song from the band, I'll usually be like, do you want to hear something heavy or something soft? If they say something soft, I'll send them Heartless. If they say something heavy, I'll send them Condemned. So, and in terms of influence, like all the same bands, like As I Lay Dying, especially on that song, but all the same bands, like All That Remains, Trivium, Killswitch, etc. So yeah.
Nice. Well, we'll have a listen in a bit. Do you have anything you want to shamelessly plug, where people can find you, where people can buy your merch, anything really?
Yeah. So our merch, I'm planning on setting up a merch store soon. So that's not available yet. But if you want to listen to us, like you could just Google us, like we're everywhere, but like, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen on, you can just search our name and find us. If you really want to get an idea of who we are as people and kind of what we're about, I would say follow us on Instagram, because a lot of stuff we do is like humor based, and I like to have a good time and make stupid jokes and be a dumbass. So that's where we use Instagram for. And I also like talking to people, which like social media is great for that, because I don't know if a lot of like famous bands personally manage their Instagram, but for me, like I like to be on there. Like I reply to every comment, like I talk with people in DMs, I make connections. That's kind of how the band started taking off in the first place, was like one-on-one talking to people. And so yeah, I love doing that. So follow us on Instagram, give me a shout out. Happy to meet everyone and have a good chat, have some fun. So yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to go into the very last track in a minute, Condemned. However, what I'm going to tell you is once we go into that track, don't turn off, don't leave, because you'll come into the backstage area like we were earlier, so we can continue chatting.
Yeah,
and,
awesome.
Say our thanks, etc. However, I think it's about time we close the show, don't you, Ina?
Yeah, and it was a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for
it
joining us tonight.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys staying up into the wee hours of the morning too. It was hard for me to get time off work, so.
No, we appreciate it, and thank you very much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on and giving a taste of the Canadian metalcore scene, so to speak.
Totally, yeah.
And it's been, I really enjoyed tonight. Sorry.
Yeah. Nope. I'm sorry. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much, Eric, for hanging out with us. And thank you all so much for being here on another Talking with Demons with us, with The Curse Within and Eric. Have a good night, everyone. And we're going to sign off with Condemned.
Peace out, everyone.
Hi, we're Amongst Liars. And you're watching Inner Demon Media. Release your inner demon.